next time. See you next time. Yeah, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to our broadcast. We got the RD2L Masters Season 1 coming your way. Portland Burnsiders versus Melo Diho Un Lo. And, well, I'm your host, eXtine, and joined by my good friend, Lucky. How you doing, Lucky?
I'm doing really well this evening. I just cast some TF2, fresh out that you've seen, so happy to watch some Dota 2 right now. And this is the first time I've seen either of these teams play, so I'm excited to see how these teams do. I've been peering through their Dota profiles and seeing a lot of Immortal ranks, so I'm happy to watch this game. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing excellent. Always enjoy seeing some Burnsiders Dota for sure. Looking forward to that. We had a good upper bracket finals win in the Aegis division, Aegis League of AD2L last night. So that was super exciting, putting us into the grand finals of that competition. That was up against Raisins. Spoiler alert, I know. But we're working our way through the RD2L group stage. There's basically kind of like 3 weeks that are kind of just getting played, almost compressed into 2 weeks. So we got a bit of a double header for us. You're joining me right now. I think that our mutual friend Kermit is actually going to be joining me later for the second broadcast. So that's exciting.
Very nice indeed. We are actually into the draft here. Seeing two very strong openings from both sides. Portland Burnsiders picking up the Magnus PA combo. So we're seeing a lot more of the Magnus on 5. Can we play this 3 or 2, but often more 5 currently?
Yeah, so right now he's tagged up as Goat James. When we get further in, his name might switch to League of Legends, but he also is known as Kobe. And that is our pause 5. And there's some other options that come out for him from time to time, but you know, Magnus definitely strong, and Magnus PA. Just a strong 1-2 punch to the gut right now. It doesn't really reveal a lot about the draft. Leaves things pretty open. I mean, does, you know, expose one lane, what the option is there. But also, I mean, pretty much Melo Diho Un Lo. We'll just call him Lo for the night. Although I think the translation, I checked it earlier, was told by someone who is low is sort of like what it means. So like they're talking about getting advice from low people, but I don't know. Anyways, we'll just call him Low for tonight. But yeah, Sven Omni Knight kind of similarly a 1-2 punch, right?
A good combination, especially when you're going up against Magnus PA, because you're facing a lot of physical damage. So why not get the ultimate that makes you immune to that physical damage, and also a Warcry to also buff up your HP. And also another thing to mention as well is that Omni Knight's W, actually the repel is super good against the RP, reduces that timing down to stage HP, regen and strength, and all that jazz that you get off the back of that. As moving through the bans, seeing more of a game plan about what they want to ban out here. Not favouring that Lina on 4, thinking they're going to have a hard matchup in lane if they run that Omni Knight on 5 and Sven on the 1. So they don't want to feel that lane pressure, hence why they banned the Timbersaw, Slardar, Lina and Undying, really focusing on off-lane bans, it looks like, for the side of Low.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, Lina making it through the first phase, kind of a surprise. Timber getting banned out there instead, which is interesting. But again, if they were looking at going for Sven and Omni Knight, you know, that's very strength intensive, and Timber certainly a combo to that. You know, likely not going to get picked up would be that Undying, which is something else that, you know, can kind of rip through some of that strength. That actually, it gets banned now. You know, again, my assessment is that would not have gotten picked here, which is Magnus likely going to be pause 5 and not have that overlap of Magnus and Undying. But, you know, could have happened. Yeah,
it could have happened. Yeah, I mean, having the Undying take away strength off strength heroes is more than potent, because you're not only are removing HP, you're removing damage as well. anything that they can try and pump out. But the issue that you actually have when you're playing Undying and playing into strength heroes is that most strength heroes naturally have a high amount of strength anyway. So you want to play against low strength heroes like someone like TB, really get that soul rip going, but not seeing that there. So I feel like this ban was a bit of a 50-50 play for them. I feel like it was a pretty safe one. They really didn't want their damage to be reduced, and they want that easy time in the off lane. So wisely dying. On the other side, however, we've got the Sanking ban. Sanking is pretty good against PA. They ban out the Axe. Another good ban against this dual melee lineup that they've got going on. They picked the Mars. Really beginning to show their hand here. They're showing their 5, 1, and 3. So they've remaining bans. You know, they're picking up that Mars since they banned so many offlaners. Maybe a bit of a deny pick at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, a very popular pick right now. I think you're right that it would have been a strong option for Milo Diho Un Lo. Lestrat coming out here as the mid pick, and now Rubik, definitely a classic for Notorious, and he was flexing that pick hard in the AD2L upper bracket finals recently. I think that's a super strong pickup here against what already has been picked by the opposition, and even, you know what, is still upcoming from them, a pause 4 and an offlaner.
Yeah, picking up that Rubik is especially potent against the left rack, extending that stun duration with the Rubik passive. It makes Earth Splitter this insane spell, especially if you're trying to carry out the Sven. It's the same thing for stealing that Sven stun, and any Omni Knight spell you can steal, also extremely potent. I mean, all of Omni Knight's spells to steal are good. Repel, the heal, or his ult, all really going to be playing against this Leshrac and this Sven combination that they've got currently, and they're going to pick up this Tidehunter as well. A lot more team fight on their side now. It seems like the team fight was relatively favored thanks to the RP and the arena, but now it's swung directly in the other direction with this Tidebringer.
Yeah, I mean, Tidebringer is good. Or Tidehunter, excuse me. We did see it kind of not work out for the Burnsiders in a situation where it was Tidehunter versus Mars, and the issue actually is kind of came down to cooldown gaming, and you know, basically just having to play around the Ravage, and it being a solid spell, but arena is 90 seconds, and you know, I think that, you know, just the other tools that they have, RP, Phantom Assassin, and whatever Rubik picks up, the Burnsiders will be able to actually fight more often and just as effectively than that Ravage.
Yeah, for sure. I am pretty scared actually for the side of Burnsiders heading up against this Leshrac. If they don't deal with it well enough towards the, I don't feel like they're going to be able to contest it in lane just yet. We're going to see obviously what the mid pick is going to be. I'm thinking it's going to be some kind of magic backline nuke. They've already got quite a lot of frontline with the backless Mars. They've got Rubik who's also going to sit in the back, and the PA is just going to be buying a BKB as fast as humanly possible and then going in. So it's all pretty much down to what Portland Burnsiders want to get. I was about to say Zeus, but they have banned that one out. So I get the feeling that it's gonna be maybe a Pugna. Pugna pretty good against Leshrac. You can drop down that Nether Ward in the middle of a fight and he just chooses XP away. And also that Decrepify for when a Sven eventually gets Ags and jumps on top of you, but of course he gets that Dispel Stormhammer because he's broken.
Yeah, Sven is definitely very broken right now. We've seen it for the Burnsiders as well, when he's just kind of able to walk up and punch people down, you know, with just a few swipes. And when you're talking late game and he's just hitting through people in like 4 punches, you know, that's definitely something that you need to watch out for, you know.
Looking at picking a 4 on the side of low right now. So Tiny is still in the pool. Been a very potent hero for a very long time now. In that position, of course, Portland Burnside is ready with the Earth Spirit and the Clockwork, 2 top tier position 4 heroes. One that we haven't seen that actually would be pretty good, I think, would be actually picking maybe a Willow or a Shaker, something that can zone them away when they get a big initiate off. Because if you fear Mars after he arenas, he just runs away from his own arena. It's pretty good.
Right. Yeah, I could see that Shaker being pretty effective. Looks like the Tiny is going to be what they pull out here. I'm not sure exactly how I feel about this. I feel like in some ways their support / offlane combo / mid combo will actually kind of have a hard time ganking and rotating. Whereas the Burnsiders, you know, Magnus's stuns are a little bit inconsistent. Rubik, though, you know, but like Skewer can slow people down, as well as like Shockwave. I guess is more what I meant to say. Shockwave can slow them down. And then if you have the lift to set it up, especially with Skewer, but now you're adding Searing Chains on top of that. And of course, you also have the Vinny, Arena, and Spear. They just have so much great control, but I don't know if the Sven played by Martino will actually, you know, have the time to come online. And then once he does come online, if it will actually matter that much, or if the Burnsiders will just be able to maneuver around and away from him, you know.
Yeah. Like Burnsiders with this Emma pick have managed to get a nice lot of poke for the mid game to late game. They've sort of secured their late game prowess with this PA, because we've seen time and time again where PA has been able to burst through Sven even though he gets that repel buff on him. But that Ember Spirit is going to just be assisting with the damage. The Flame Guard really, really good for lane up against the Leshrac, so he shouldn't have a terrible time, but I am fearing a little bit for their safety throughout the lanes. I mean, Rubik not particularly a strong laner, especially coming up against Omni Knight Sven if he gets stunned once he gets smashed around. But this Mars is going to be assisting that lane, but the top lane is incredibly weak as well. You've got Magnus PA. These two heroes going up against a Tide Hunter who's just going to be anchor smacking you every 3 seconds. It's going to be a non-kill.
Yeah, definitely. Could be a tough one for him. We'll have to see how it goes as we get into the actual game here. Let's run down some rosters here real quick. For Mehil, I'm gonna screw up that name all night. Melodijo un Lo. For them, we're gonna have Nana playing the Leshrac. We'll call it Zika, right? On the Tiny. Martino playing Sven. Love Sosa on the Tide Hunter. And is that Ice Demon? Okay, it says Ice Demon. I think we had an Ice Shadow or something in the AD2L game. I don't think that was the same player. But Ice Demon here on the Omni Knight. For the Burnsiders, gonna be League of Legends Pog on the Magnus. Notorious playing Rubik. We had a question the other day. You would have appreciated this. And he's still wearing the same gear, but my co-caster was curious whether the Rubik intentionally took off his Arcana to hide what his spells were that he had stolen.
Yes.
Because we were playing against a Bloodseeker, and yeah, it was really hard to see the Rubik Bloodright. Vinny on the Mars and Ember Spirits. Aaron, KU playing the Phantom Assassin. Sorry, I just figured I'd wrap that up.
Yeah, it's hard to know, what... You can have a look, obviously, and see what spells have been stolen, and just check that stuff out if you're on top of it. It's relatively easy to do, but when you have the Arcana and you've got things turning green, the teams can get confused about whose thing is which when you don't have that Arcana on. So taking it off is actually going to give you a bit of a tactical advantage. One thing I wanted to mention, by the way, is I don't usually mention a lot in terms of support builds at the start, but it's a very clear idea of what Ice Demon has gone for. He's starting out with the Windlace so that he can chase down this Rubik in the lane, and I do like this quite a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, I'm messing with some of my audio settings to make sure that everybody can hear your lovely voice in, you know, peak conditions, right?
As well. And also Rubik are going to be building in towards a Null Talisman first as well on the 4. Is this something that he usually does on Notorious, building a Null on 4?
Yeah, probably.
He's got the Mantle and the Circler already.
Yeah,
I don't think he knows that he I feel like a boot start would have been better in this lane, since this Omni Knight is going to be running at him the whole time, and the Mars won't necessarily be able to help him.
No, he's aggressive with his item builds for sure, and I think that the Fade Bolt, you know, is something that he loves to harass with early as well. You know, definitely doesn't go for that lift early on to, you know, maybe do something super cheeky or try to combine the stun. Just settles for the harass damage from Fade Bolt, and he's going to try to put some work on Ice Demon as well. He's doing 61 damage with right clicks, so.
Are they going to be contesting runes? Sure. Looks
Yeah,
pretty good for the outsiders,
Yeah.
getting
Yeah,
3 of the 4 bounty routes. Very nice. Good start for them, of course, leading with that gold. I didn't even notice that the Rubik actually starts with 700 HP with the build that he's gone for. Only 60 HP off the time.
Ooh. Beautiful stuff. And right now he's going to trade blows with this Tiny. Vinny's actually waddling his way over here. Grabs that God's Rebuke. And then runs back towards lane. Shout out to JNS. Yeah, definitely. Shout out to JNS Rod. He was in here the other day, but gave us a follow before the stream started tonight. And also throwing out that Let's Go Burnsiders. We're casting through Dota TV today as well, so that'll be fun because we can actually have a little bit more crowd interaction versus being in-game and being on a 5-minute delay.
Pretty good. I am going to be having to watch this in mid lane. I feel like it's going to be the one that sort of decides how the mid game plays out. But even trades for both players at the minute in this mid lane, it's going to be difficult in these starting early levels for this Ember Spirit against this Leshrac. He's just got to spam Sleight of Fist and pray he doesn't get hit by an Earth Splitter and get harassed down.
Right. And Notorious was trading with the Omni Knight there and was also able to ensure that the large camp did spawn. Things going pretty well here for Vinny. Aaron is the one, in the lead, but Zuka is actually going to get first blood given away.
Yeah, go back, and that was kind of it for him. Like he couldn't escape the dagger spam and all the rest of the stuff that was coming his way. So picking up on KU there, that first blood's pretty huge. Getting on your carry.
Oh yeah. And Kobe tried to chase down the Tidehunter's courier, but not going to be able to connect with that kill. That's all right. And the Omni Knight's still level 1 here, up in top lane, so he's not off to a great start. And just being a melee support, it's hard to be able to get in and be aggressive, especially when all your spells are built around supporting or healing instead of just being aggressive. We'll be able to get some.
Taurus is actually playing this lane pretty well.
Yeah, we'll be able to get some XP to Vinny though. What does he got coming out here too?
Yeah,
Tangos
Go on.
and we are Lucky is joining me from UK, so it does make our commentary flow a little bit tougher. But don't worry, we have good chemistry.
That chemistry, sorry. Notorious with the Fable reduced damage. He's still at 1. He's chilling out in top lane, like you mentioned, not taking any XP. I think he's trying to steal from this Omni Knight as much as he can. He's been interrupting all of these pulls in the top lane. An absolute nuisance.
He's sharing in this XP now as well, and we'll be able to get level 2 shortly here, actually off that next creep dying. So he does have lift here as well, whereas this Omni not actually able to get level 2 off the way that XP split out. He might just pull again, but with just the 2 creeps here, that's actually not quite how you want to pull if you want to be very specific about your Dota movements. Notoria is getting that side pull though, which will also further affect the equilibrium in the Burnsider's favor.
I'm not just going to be dragging that one back to his way, but actually getting speared to the tree. Yeah, he's going to receive a rebuke to the face and pops the repel, gets the heal down, so that extra strength of the HP heal coming in clutch, and that's pops the salve as well, so he's going to be fine. Yeah,
that's his second salve that he's had to use, and okay, Sven is able to run over and get that range creep, and then does miss the 1 creep on that deny there. Tidehunter 20-1, so very subtly and slowly performing very well in this bottom lane. But otherwise, yeah, things pretty balanced on the last hits across the board.
Runes come up as well, double damage for Aaron in the mid lane. The Tiny couldn't quite get to the rune in time, so he was able to pick that one up free without much pressure. And Rubik actually secured the top one if it was going to spawn there as well. They have actually managed to spot him out with that Radiant Observer Ward towards the river, so they know that the Tiny is there. So Aaron's going to be playing to the left-hand side of this lane. Not going to be scared about him whatsoever, and he should probably figure out in the next couple seconds that they know he's there.
For sure. Well, Kobe just playing a support, holding in this position in this bottom lane, keeping this Tidehunter at bay. Zuka hasn't been able to get a ton done on this Tiny. He's trying to get aggressive here. The Skewer doesn't quite grab Zuka, which would have been nice. KU's actually going to go on him anyways This is the 5-minute mark. Hitting the dagger on him, just kind of actually trying to punish him here. And could possibly chase him all the way to that top rune. Will at least just kind of chase him back a bit, force him to waste some time. Aaron doesn't have level 6, is interested in grabbing that rune as Tiny is waiting to secure it. Aaron coming up here. Burnsiders. Yeah, okay, he sees that the Tiny is there. And yeah, we'll get called out.
In the air, and is going to die to the Diabolic Deeding very slowly. Down and picking up that kill.
Yeah, that was unfortunate by him that he didn't have level 6 yet. As, you know, if he would have been able to zoom up there with his spirits, he would have been just fine. We'll be able to TP back in a lane and get kind of right back on top of that in no time, but still can't say that is ideal. Vinny diving for Martino down here. Martino will get salved up, uses his wand charges. Not a lot of regen up here for the Burnsiders, but they're still doing pretty comfy as this game has started developing, and Aaron will be able to get the top rune here. Worry of the Tiny that is trying to chase him down, and the bounty also still here. And so
he could use it as a ball, but he went aggressively for the other one. But he is actually getting caught here. The level 6 on the track, he actually whiffs the stun there, manages to get his flame guard off, but gets pinged down. Eventually, not finding his level 6. The Tiny keeping up the pressure. Well played here from the side of life.
Yeah, that's unfortunate and a tough one for the Burnsiders, as now he doesn't have the remnants to be able to skip forward, is actually going to have to walk out to lane. So, you know, what did start as a pretty good start up to the about the 5-minute mark, all of a sudden has kind of spun around a little bit. Tidehunter 20 mana off of a Ravage here, but he does have 2 stick charges. So some quick math there, ladies and gentlemen. Although, unfortunately, he gushes, does have Arcane Boots, but, you know, ever-evolving situation, but he does have some mana here to play with.
He's got Morbid Mask. They can't do anything to him anymore. He can Anchor Smash and just get all his HP back off of, like, one wave, and that's it. There's nothing they can do anymore. This lane for Tide is just going to be the same thing over and over again. He's just going to skip the waves, farm them up with the Anchor Smash, and if they do want to get a kill on him, it's going to be incredibly hard now that he has that Ravage available to him, and he'll be more than happy to pop that in the early game up until he gets that Blink.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see what he gets into here next. If there's any other item like finishing that Vlad's, or if it just goes right into it.
He's actually popping the Ravage in the bot lane, and Shrek rotates in, gets his ult off, and that's Nana on a killing spree now as the PA goes down. A kill that they needed, actually, as she was getting too many last hits. And this Tidehunter, after popping Ravage and using basically all of his stuff, going to pop the Anchor Smash one more time, and does eventually go down to Aaron with that ultimate.
Yeah, that's a smart rotation from Aaron to secure that kill and, you know, rotate out. You know, good timing for it. The Arcane Rune will get picked up and bottled by the Leshrac. It's Arcane can, the Ember played by Aaron can clean up some of these small camps on his way back. KU takes mid lane for just a second here, picking up that empty XP that would have gone missing otherwise. Notorious also rotating to soak some of that up. He's level 4. Tiny level 5. Him finding some good kind of levels is important to possibly get an advantage here and you know, continue to just roam effectively.
Yeah. One thing we also didn't mention in the pregame is that not only have you got this Ember Spirit for poking and prodding in fights, but you've also got another Empower target. So
yeah,
full usage of that Empower on their team. They're doing it right now, and Aaron is been able to recover a little bit from his 2 early deaths by hitting the jungle a little bit with that Empower. So he's actually coming back into the game. But we are seeing Sven pull ahead now with 81 last hits. And he's going to become a scary threat very quickly in this game.
Yeah, one of the last games that we saw the Vinny Mars in, you know, definitely the conversation about making sure that we get a bit of a snowball from the Mars. In this game, he's doing okay, but, you know, definitely doesn't quite seem like a snowball yet.
10-minute runes are coming up in the next 30 seconds, so we're going to see how the teams are able to posture. I don't know if we're going to see a siege happen as the 10-minute Carty comes in, see if they can get some towers down. Let's see what happens. It's coming. And
the Diabolic Edict coming out here, just sniping down the mid tower from the Leshrac. Not a ton that you can do about that, but a little bit unfortunate. We do actually have a DC here from the Tidehunter. Not really in the best position, but with KU up here, And I guess they probably have marked it out with the Observer Award that KU was there recently.
The award's actually super good, by the way.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid one.
It's been there for a little while now. They've managed to just leave it there and spot a couple defensive rotations. But that mid tower going down is opening up so much space for Tiny now. It's going to just be able to hunt everyone.
And I think as well, just kind of the space they have here, that vision. They're also, the Tiny might be able to run over there with Tranquils here before the shot goes down. KU definitely kind of working to get a bit more relevant here, trying to get into that Morbid Mask, maybe catch things up here a bit. Ice Demon in some trouble up top here, as Vinny does have that arena, and kind of like the Ravage, use it early, use it often, try to get a kill out of your situations.
Yeah, you don't really need to save that Ravage until around that 20-minute mark, when things start really coming online, people start getting their first couple items, and then you can make the most out of those Ravages. But Ice Demon's currently only level 4. He is going to get that XP boost that you get from the Shrine, and then potentially he's going to get a book, and then they can start just W-keying at people if they 5-man. It could be the strategy. They have a much stronger 5-man lineup, and that comes online earlier just based off this Omni Knight hitting his 6, and Leshrac just getting a few basic mana items to support his pool. As you can see, he's already building it. Like, he's got 2 Null Talismans, he's got the Boots of Travel finished, and he's building into a Yule. The scream running at you, and you're going to die.
Right. Yeah, we'll have to see what comes out from some of the item builds here. Still plenty of strategizing coming out here from low. Our opponents here, best of 2. We do have another match later tonight. So kind of a double header here. Thanks, Sven. Kind of a double header here tonight. As we will be joining the Burnsiders as we play our next series up against Wang Darin. Likely just keep the stream live and just kind of hang out in between. Play some Minesweeper, listen to some tunes, do that sort of thing. We're going to have another TF2 caster friend joining me later. Kermit.
Been casting some Dark Souls stuff over the weekend. Had a high viewership. That man is getting up there with the boys.
Oh, nice. That's exciting.
Like a 25,000 viewer stream, and he was on it. He was the man.
Was that on his channel, or where was that?
Some Dark Souls stream that he linked me. I'll have to find it.
Oh, okay. Well, was he running He was running production or doing?
He was casting.
Casting, yeah. Okay, awesome.
Yes, it was really cool to watch him getting some exposure. But what was I going to say? Tidehunter's got. He's got a headdress coming out of the courier. Looks like he's building in towards a mech and opting for going for a more aura-oriented build. I think he doesn't really want to go for this blink. Although I don't really know if he needs to be the one that's actually initiating. They've got a lot of ways on the team of some initiation. They're getting the Yules on the left, who just Yules as someone, or they can toss someone in after Tiny gets a blink, and Sven is eventually going to get an axe. So they've got all these ways of just initiating and running at people.
Mm-hmm.
What I do fear, though, is if they are pushed and repelled back, they don't have a lot in sense of defense. Their high ground defense sucks massive.
Yeah. Still getting some pauses and some drawings on the map here. I was curious.
The Shrek is screaming, "Help me!" That's
yeah, right.
Help me, guys, please! I don't want to die. Well, to be fair, how long will it take him if he uses his ult to murder this PA? Not very long by the looks of it. He has his Diabolic Edict pop, but it's about to run out, which is sad.
Sounds like should be ready to go soon here, so we're insiders chilling though.
Place your bets. Is guy or not?
Who? Leshrac?
Yes. Is he gonna die or not?
I think he gets.
What do you think?
I think he gets away here. But we do have RP and KU ready to potentially jump on him, but we're gonna find the tiny.
But they are actually.
Yeah, maybe he'll actually come back to take a fight here.
The runes have now spawned, so it looks like it should be even on the old runes. They're leaving the ones up top for Aaron, and he's just going to be able to pick up that rune there that spawned in 10 minutes. It's an illusion rune, so nothing too good to deal with. But they are on the side of low, rotating a bunch of players to the bot lane. Looks like they want to pick off Notorious. Looks like they're going to dive the tower for this one. Popping that edict in towards the tower, they get the gush onto him, and they are just going to tick him down. That's going to be an easy pick for the side of low. Another kill, but in the top lane, we are seeing the Omni Knight go down as a trade, and it looks like they are sieging top and bottom together.
Yeah, not too much that the Burnsiders could do about that bottom lane, but up top, that's an easy snag.
Diabolic Edict and this Tide Hunter are pretty disgusting at clearing and pushing waves. So they are already pressuring this tier 2 eXtine. Looks like they want to go in. They've managed to accumulate a 3k advantage already at the 10-minute mark, which is impressive. But I mean, they have got Sven, so they are accelerating that farm rate quite quick off the bat.
Right.
Fortification comes out, and that's a pretty good thing to find here, getting this fortification out so early.
Yeah, Notorious level 6 here. He's coming in now, and we'll be able to get the Pulse Nova. Is actually doing a ton of damage to the Tide Hunter. Gets the kill there. Leshrac trying to jump out here with the Town Portal Scroll. Will be able to escape. Zuka, though, in some trouble here as Aaron chasing Avalanche and the toss, but Vinny will bash him down for the kill. Not the completely ideal fight for the Burnsiders, but at the same time, good experience for Notorious and the Ember Spirit.
Very questionable there from low. I mean, I don't think they should have dove that tower. The fortification was still on for a few more seconds. They were all getting split shot by the tower, trying to dive in towards this Rubik, chunked by it, and then they lost all their HP, and that was it. It was a really, really, really nice lift from Notorious, by the way. He cancelled the animation on the Ravage before it went off, buying that few more seconds for his other players to come in to pick up that experience. So we'll play from Notorious.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll see here as we get into kind of the next wave here, kind of more of a post-laning phase. 12-minute rune comes out, but the Leshrac had grabbed it.
Shrek is picking up all the stacks in the jungle now as well. We're going to be picking up some more experience, and Sven cleared out his stacks. Sven's going to be in that triangle area, picking up all those ancients and getting all those neutral items.
And no longer living, baby.
For sure.
Yep. Which is insane to get on Sven.
The Iron Talon are switching over the broom, you're saying?
Yeah. He's also now got his Echo Saber complete, so Mask of Madness Echo Saber. He's basically ready to fight with this Omni Knight Repel, because the Repel actually gives him a bonus damage with the extra strength.
One of the other games I saw recently with the Burnsiders, Leshrac went for an early Boots of Travel. Didn't seem to be the item build in that game. This game seems like a bit better of an option. Notorious jumped on by the middle kind of spire there. Can't do anything. The arena thrown down as well, but doesn't really help with much. As Vinny still gets killed. And now that skill on cooldown as, well, Aaron jumping around and forward. He is going to get tossed up in the air. Will be able to use his Fire Remnant, get away. Another Observer Ward placed in a similar spot on that high ground.
Be struggling to deal with this Leshrac. The push coming out from them. As soon as they get these advantages, they're going to be able to capitalize so much off of like 1 or 2 kills. Like they just got 2 kills. Mars wasted and burned arena, so now I feel like they're just going to remain aggressive because that's what Leshrac brings to the table, this ability to just continually fight. Whenever he gets mana, he's ready to just kill and push. That's his thing. That's what Leshrac does.
Yeah, and Aaron kind of pinged out here. You know, does have a remnant to zip away to the other side of the map. Notorious going for this haste rune here, spotted out by the Tide Hunter. Notorious will be able to snag it in front of that Tiny. Not leaving it for potentially somebody else to grab. Notorious still maybe in trouble here, though. I guess the haste rune can get him out here. See what he steals. It is actually going to be Toss. Just an interesting pickup for the Rubik.
Interesting thing to point out as well is Leshrac has stopped going for the Yules and has now decided that he's building a... Okay, they smoke under a ward as well. But he's building an axe.
Yeah. And he's making pretty good progress to it as well.
He's got the. He's already got the staff of wizardry. He just needs the blade of alacrity, and he has the axe available to him. Actually,
And
keeping that over.
yes.
He really gets popped.
Sosa just runs right into it. Ravage coming out here. We'll be able to grab the Rubik as well as the Mars once again. A heal coming down though on top of the Mars from Notorious, who had stolen that. Aaron doing a good job of controlling the fight here. KU gets thrown forward by Tidehunter actually. And now a GA coming out here as well. Oh, he clips 2 of them! The Leshrac and the Tiny stuck up there. Leshrac tried to TP out, and then Tiny throws him down. Tiny will have to TP out. The Kobe gets cleaned up, but the double cliff coming through. What a play.
Double cliff. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out for them in the end. That did you see how long that RP lasted, by the way, on that Leshrac?
No.
It was like 1 second. The repeller's been... The repeller's 50% resistance, so it's just like... It's just nothing.
Yeah. 1.5 seconds.
They had it on Leshrac. It's impossible to stop this Leshrac from running at you when you've got an Omni Knight stick and repel on him, and that's precisely all. They're just sitting behind this Leshrac, which is what they need to do. He's currently on the scoreboard as 8-0-2. This man has not been stopped whatsoever this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that with their draft, you know, Vinny's not going to be getting that immediate burst damage for a while. You know, he has his spell combos, but that's about it. KU still powering up, though, in terms of, you know, just being PA, getting that damage, getting that crit multiplier rolling, trying to finish up. Well, yeah, no, actually did finish up the Desolator, as we see Vinny just having to deal with the Tiny up top by himself. We'll be able to drop the arena and get out, which isn't ideal, but at least survives. Sven has picked up the Ags as the Desolator is available on that PA, so PA certainly upgraded the damage output, but, you know, situation's still a little rough for the Burnsiders. Since it was 5-5, they've been slipping behind.
Yeah, this is actually an opportunity now for Burnsiders to make a play. They've got Omni Knight ult down. They've got no Ravage on the side of low, so this would be the opportunity for them to go in. But I feel like after that last fight, it's a little bit of a shock to the system. They don't want to go up against it, so they're going to opt to just farm up their jungle, play passive, and just wait for something else to happen, which I think is probably the good play. But like you mentioned, that Desolator being finished, along with the Empower, bonus damage is going to come into play pretty soon. If they can actually get the jump onto Leshrac, and they can get a couple nice crits in, they may have a chance of taking him down.
In this game, yeah, definitely an issue for the Burnsiders with just needing to survive for a while. And, you know, they're obviously going to, you know, likely lose their outer towers here. But just make sure that the damage isn't too deep and that they're, you know, still able to find those items that they need on PA and Mars and Ember to be able to start turning some of these fights around.
The Leshrac is a little bit disgusting now. That Aghanim Scepter is already just paying. I hate it. Anyway, there's another kill actually onto the PA, which is not what you want to see. And they smoke him immediately as well. Really want to get aggressive here. They smoke 3 in the bottom lane, moving in towards this Rubik, who is actually just about walked under a ward just now, and that's going to spell his demise. But Leshrac is walking in, and so is the Tiny, and they spot him out. And he's gonna die. There you go, gets Avatos, and he's dead.
Yeah, nice.
10k net worth advantage now to the side of low, and they are kind of snowballing away with this game. I don't see a world in which the comeback is gonna happen for the Burnsiders because of just how much pressure this draft puts out with this Leshrac.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. I mean, you know, again, it's about objectives. At the end of the day, it's all about, you know, having or losing that ancient. Leshrac can just put so much pressure on there. The Sven with it is a wonderful combo. Right now, after that Axe, he's going to go into Assault Cuirass, which, you know, adds to the survivability of this team overall. Guardian's Grieve on this Tidehunter, also on that same point as Sven, clearing out that wave with the Stormhammer. Still has God's Strength in his pocket.
Yeah, I mean, with the AC as well, you don't really need to worry about the damage output that you've got because your damage is getting buffed up by A, your ult, B, your Omni Knight, and then you've got a Leshrac running at people. So really, this Sven just wants to be a bit of a Dispel tank while this Leshrac has his early game. And then eventually he's going to build into a Daedalus probably after the AC, as they're going to smoke up again, burning all of their smokes here, eXtine, in this minute.
Here, Notorious has that spell steal on the Rubik, ready to go, but waiting for a good target. But he kind of getting dragged out here. He blinks away, which is actually, you know, a good escape in their favor. There is this ward here by the Dire side that's really seeing where the Burnsiders are positioned as they're starting to leave the base here. Whereas on the other hand, the Burnsiders are kind of flying into the dark in a lot of ways. They will see the Leshrac here, who actually might be in trouble. The wall coming down here hits Leshrac, throws him forward, and Vinny maybe in a little bit of trouble here. The Tiny coming in on the side here to get some damage onto Notorious, who will go down as well. So, I mean, I don't think that Mars, you know, initiation really kind of worked out how the Burnsiders were anticipating. KU kind of stuck above the wave here and is just going to have to rotate out. Doesn't have a TP scroll. Should be able to limp his way back home.
Pick up the DD rune and is now sieging in mid lane with God Strength. And that tower with the Diabolic Edict is just going to melt, and there's no defense that's going to be able to come out here. It's just no Blink Daggers online, so not a lot they can really do with the ability to, you know, stop this. So down go the Rex, and that's going to be all she wrote for that. And the one saving grace that they have is they've got waves pushed out on top lane for Burnsiders. The bot wave is still pushing in, but it looks like they're now going to opt to rotate back towards Roshan and maybe force a fight over there.
Yeah, Burnsiders have been finding a little bit of farm at least, as Aaron kind of fighting on the other side of the map, clearing out that jungle a bit. But things definitely going well for Team Low here. You can see the net worth solidly in their favor, with the Tidehunter having the advantage over the PA. Looks like we're having another little connection issue though with these guys. Big ups to the global Dota 2 community though.
Yeah, I think this is a bit of a last-ditch effort. 17,000 net worth for for the side of Low now. 5-15 on the scoreline. The Sven just pulling ahead with his net worth advantage. No one hitting the 10k mark on the sort of burn side. It's just that the PA is licking it though. But we've seen it time and time again where RNGesus happens and PA crits someone and then the comeback is on.
That's hard to deal with, you know, just to be blunt, right?
I feel like the PA without the PA going for this Mask of Madness is, I don't know, it's added to the farming rate, but it's stymied what could happen now. Because if he didn't have a Mask of Madness, he could be closer forwards to that BKB and have a real shot killing this Leshrac. But as it is, he's just going to get Yuled and then die immediately.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see what he can kind of get scraped together here. Going for that BKB. Right now, Vinny jumping forward. There's also the Ravage coming out here, though, from Love Sosa to disrupt the arena from Mars. Aaron jumping forward here. He's actually just going to get blasted down very quickly here. Burnsiders melting away at all this damage. And GG actually called out here at the 22nd minute. And yeah, Burnsiders haven't been able to have any effect in these fights after it was basically 5-5 on the kill score. I mean, things were pretty even then, but moving forward, game definitely got out of control. You got both PA, you know, a magic damage, or sorry, a physical damage kind of oriented hero, but he was able to just get outpaced by the Sven. And kind of similarly, the Ember Spirit bringing a mix of magic damage and physical damage, but just getting, you know, really outperformed by this Leshrac, 12-0-7. So it's pretty tough to deal with.
He just didn't have any answers at all to deal with it. Like in the draft, especially, I feel like it doesn't really come down to a drafting issue too much. It just comes down to the fact that they weren't rotating enough on this Leshrac in the early game. They didn't make the read that the Leshrac would be the one that they'd be playing around. And this Omni Knight ult, of course, was insanely good against this lineup because obviously it's a lot of physical damage. I mean, Mars dealing physical damage with God's Rebuke, even as well as the Magnus's main form of damage is going to be through that physical damage. Ember Spirit physical, PA physical, and until Rubik starts stealing spells, you know, he's kind of, you know, not doing too much. But
right.
I can respect pick a lot. I think the Rubik was good, and I feel like across the board it was good picks. I just feel like they didn't respond well enough and read the draft on the side of low. I feel like coming into the next game, since it's a best of 2, they're going to have read that now, and they're going to know that this is the case, that they need to maybe ban out the slush rat, keep it away from them, and not give them a chance to pick it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, as you mentioned, we do have a game 2 coming up, but also, we'll be casting that game as well through Dota TV. It does have the benefit of, us being on the same page as the crowd. But since we're sort of going to be 5 minutes in the past from the players, I can see that they haven't already started the game yet. So we at least have a 5-minute break. We might as well take it as the casters, because we could fill air the whole day. But, it's nice to take a break when we can. We deserve it. Shout out, though, to Detective Diglett, who gave us a follow earlier. And then giving our offlaner Vinny a little bit of guff, saying, my boy Vinny need to step it up. Also, shout out to Pablo Mew joining us in the chat. He is the manager of our opponents, Mi Lo Dijo Un Lo. We've been calling him Lo all night. Maybe Pablo can let us know if you got another short nickname for him that would be easier for us to use. But we scrimmed these guys a couple times, and fun to run into them in the RD2L. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and we'll be back with game 2. We also have some more games later tonight, so please join us for that. If you do happen to step away, that will be starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. But one more game coming up next. Stay tuned.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another musical edition of the Portland Burnsiders, featuring our special guest, Moxie.
Play all day, frag all day, lose no way, win all day, vibe all day, chill all day, lose no way, win all day.
Burnsiders 2020, still out here, chasing dope, stuck inside, COVID dope. You say hi, I say yo, pushing through shutter doors, making plays you fucking know. Sixes, no 4v4, spitting phrases, making rhymes, rhythms. In my mind, making dinner for game time, cooking with eXtine, pure and jiggly guy. You know we won't ever stop, climb our way towards the top. Ubers, you won't see me drop, champagne bottles gonna pop. Fletcher made this beat, Carolina Reaper heat.
Play all day, frag all day, lose no way, win all day, vibe all day, chill all day, lose no way, win all day.
Our pocket scout's name is Boy, dodging shots, a decoy, a New York boy, still reppin' Portland like Brandon Roy. Over heels on over heel damage, he's gonna deal. He's our gardener, that's for real. Cathacks hit in the fields, Western gon' lead the way, sliding Rams making plays, sing pipes. He'll hit today, TPM it ain't no thing. Fletcher flies in the sky, sack blaze. He's our guy, market gardener, medic dies, rain of light. He's gonna snipe. Best believe that shit is tight. Top 10 play, it just might. My solely bombs, they were right. Now I hit arrows, you like a legend. On that egg, tell these soldiers get off my dick. Yeah.
Play all day, frag all day, lose no way, win all day, vibe all day, chill all day, lose no way, win all day.
You know we spittin' flames, TF2's our fucking game. True, we might act a fool, throwing down Dota 2. She's Lena, I'm ET, eXtine, and Moxie. Shit talk, her casting, shut it, epoxy. Billiards with MC, ancient player, TI winner, pause, 8, serving dinner, breakfast for Kuroki, Roman Heen, MoMA 2, GH Armor, Omar 2. Inspiring ways to move, play like them, ain't gonna lose. Game all day till I snooze. Sleep all night, dream of Valve, patching TF2. Moxie on the hook, but yo, let me sing it too. Play all day, frag all day, lose no way, win all day, vibe all day, chill all day, lose no way, win all day. Damn, Moxie, you killed it, just like always. Burnsiders, featuring our special guest, Moxie.
Play all day, frag all day, lose no way, win all day. All day, chill all day, lose no way, win all day.
Burnsiders 2020, still out here, chasing dope, stuck inside. COVID though, you say hi, I say yo, pushing through doors, making plays you fucking know. Sixes, no 4v4, spitting phrases, making rhymes, rhythms. In my mind, making dinner for game time, cooking with eXtine, pure and jiggly guy. You know we won't ever stop, climb our way towards the top. Rumors you won't see me drop, champagne bottles gonna pop. Fletcher made this beat, Carolina Reaper heat.
Play all day, frag all day, lose no way, win all day. Vibe all day, chill all day, lose no way, win all day.
Pocket Scout's name is Boy, dodging shots, a decoy, a New York boy. Still reppin' Portland like Brandon Roy. Over heels on overheel damage. He's gonna deal, he's our gardener, that's for real. Cathacks hit in the fields, Western gon' lead the way. Sliding Rams, making plays, sink pipes. He'll hit today, DPM, it ain't no thing. Fletcher flies in the sky, sack plays. He's our guy, market gardener, medic dies. Rain of light, he's gonna snipe. Best believe that shit is tight. Top 10 play, it just might. My solely bombs, they were right. Now I hit arrows, you like a legend. On medic, tell these soldiers, get off my dick. Yeah.
Play all day, frag all day, lose no way, win all day. Vibe all day, chill all day, lose no way, win all day.
You know we spitting flames, TF2's our fucking game. True, we might act a fool, throwing down Dota 2. She's Lena, I'm ET, eXtine, and Moxie. Shit talk, her casting, shut it, epoxy. Billiards with MC, ancient player, TI winner, pause, ain't serving dinner, breakfast for karaoke, Roman Heen, MoMA 2, GH Armor 2. Inspiring ways to move, play like them, ain't gonna lose. Game all day till I snooze. Sleep all night, dream of Valve, patching TF2. Moxie on the hook, but yo, let me sing it too. Play all day, frag all day, lose no way, win all day, vibe all day, chill all day, lose no way, win all day. Damn, Moxie, you killed it, just like always. One of these days, you're gonna be casting, you're gonna be like, oh shit, it's the Burnsiders. Till then, I'm eXtine. See you next time.
5 seconds.
Yeah, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to our broadcast. We are live once again with Game 2 of the RD2L Masters matchup. Portland Burnsiders versus Melo Diho Un Lo. I'm your host, eXtine, and I am joined by my friend Lucky. How you doing, bud?
Doing pretty good. After game number 1, I've had to think about what these teams should do, and Burnsiders did precisely what my brain said they should do. Get rid of the Zombie Knight and the Sven directly off the bat next time.
Yeah. The Sven and Omni are both banned out, though. But the Magnus picked up by Diho Un Lo.
I feel like
With the
I'm seeing a
Tiny.
bit of deja vu. Obviously, yeah, Low have prioritized this Tiny, haven't they? I think they've seen that the last game, this Tiny worked out pretty well for them, so they're going to pick it up again. I like the direction that they go with this Tusk, though, on this side of Burnsiders already getting some nice lane pressure in with that tag team punch. They've already got more lane pressure than they had of the entirety last game in their draft off of one hero pick.
Yeah, it'll help. I also pick up the classic Kobe Oracle. So Tusk with a little bit of punch through in case they need it.
Yeah, Oracle has a ton of lane pressure. Like, Oracle is, with the Purifying Flames and the, as soon as he gets that level 3, it's nearly impossible to lane against an Oracle, because he's just going to ping you down eventually. The nuke damage can be upwards of 600 damage in lane, which is a high amount if addition with anything else, so it's going to be really good to see this Oracle come out as well. So I'm liking what we've got so far from the side of Portland Burnsiders, but they are obviously displaying their 5 and 4. Which is kind of what you want to show, as it's reflected in the other team as well. So we're going to see some core picks come out now. So we're going to see what they want to target ban here. Looks like carries are getting put in the bin.
Yeah, pretty classic. I mean, Burnsiders already banned the Sven earlier, banning the Lifestealer, don't want to deal with it. But Low, yeah, putting out the Troll and Spectre, saying no to that.
10 seconds remain. 5,
Ideally, they want to get rid of this. I feel like the one pick that's shining through here for me is flashback to last game, but a PA. I mean, obviously works well with Magnus. They get that cleave damage in. They get rid of the Jug with the Omni slash cleavers pretty a lot, and and on the side of Low they get rid of the Viper. So fearing, maybe telegraphing a little bit about what they're going to pick. I think it's just going to be a PA though. So we'll see if it gets banned out.
Yeah, since that Viper kind of dealing the break there to the evasion.
Yeah, that's what I thought was going to hit the table. But maybe they just don't want a hero. Maybe they're also telegraphing potentially for another Leshrac pick. I feel like Burnsiders might want to think about maybe banning it out, potentially, depending on what they're thinking about picking here. But the Leshrac was definitely potent last game, but they get rid of the PA. Pretty clever ban there, and now they can either pick Deny, or they can pick something that they think they're going to be able to work well with in the draft. But on the side of Low, I feel like we could see, I think Phantom Lancer may be the pick here. It's still in the pool. It's one of the only carry heroes that seems to be still quite viable.
5 seconds.
Yeah, we'll see as we get into this next phase of picks here. Burnsiders looking for a couple positions. Looks like they will grab that Faceless Void. So, yeah, they did ban out that PA. Grabbing Faceless Void, who's a pretty, universally applicable carry hero here.
This was a bit more of a Deny pick, to be honest, as well. Like, they could have picked
Yeah,
a
it's
TB.
true.
TB also was a really, really good combo.
Especially with the Oracle.
Yeah. But the reason that they picked this is because Void is a hero that works pretty well with Cleave. But another hero I haven't mentioned, in fact, that I've totally forgot about, who has actually been relatively potent, who could work well against the Void, depends on how fast his fingers are, but the Anti-Mage?
Yeah, Anti-Mage comes out a bit here. Moria often recently. Right now, you don't have too many spells that you're like, oh yeah, I can like actively, predict that coming in and reflect it. Maybe the Tusk Walrus Punch. Underlord coming out here, which is still sort of a conservative pick, at least in the sense that like they're not really revealing too much of their own strategies, and they still have a lot of flexibility there. As kind of Tiny and Magnus both strategize or synchronize well with the Underlord. Good symbiotic relationships there. But yeah, still like carry mid. They haven't revealed anything yet. Burnsiders will have to make their next pick here. 55 seconds left in reserve time.
Burning through it kind of rapidly. I guess they're going to be able to save some time here to think about more picks. I feel like they know what their bans are if they're wasting this much reserve time on their next pick. One carry I also didn't talk about, I'm not forgetting carries left, right, center heroes. They haven't got any ranged heroes on the side of Low. That worries me a little bit, but if they were thinking about more team fight, they could pick something like a Luna. They could also pick a Drow, but they've got the Void to jump on top of it and they're tossed to Snowball. So the one thing I was thinking is, why not tank through it? Ursa's in the pool still. Ursa could be a viable pick here for them as well. It works well with the Cleave as well, because Ursa works well with Battle Fury now, because the hero is ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure.
Venom.
Okay, Retro the Robot calling that early. As a Detective Diglett earlier said, my boy Vinny needs to step up. And Retro the Robot chiming in, just pick Veno forehead. And oh, there we go. We have it. Retro the Robot with that call out.
I think it's a very clever pick at the same time, as well as being an absolute I'm flexing on you pick, and that is because it works well against all of their current heroes. It's a Blink Dagger cancel, which was what you want against a Magnus and a Tiny.
Yep.
Be flexed to mid and off lane, so you're not revealing anything. Answer. This is where I think Portland Burnsiders, they should maybe aim for this Leshrac. Leshrac is still in the pool and works insanely well versus PL.
Yeah, in the pool for now, as we do have 2 more bands coming out here. But that's a great suggestion. You know, again, Leshrac in vogue, Death Prophet. You know, maybe something that similarly could be a nice use against the Phantom Lancer, where your spirits will just be clearing things up. Your Crypt Swarm can kind of help determine which PL is the real one. But yeah, I think that, you know, as you mentioned, they might go for that other pick first of the Leshrac.
I think on the side of low as well, they could be looking at a potential save for the Chronosphere, something like a Pugna to decrep in the Chrono, just to stop all that damage coming out. That's going to happen to them in the Chrono. The one thing that Burnsiders are lacking is some kind of nuke for in the Chrono. They've got Purifying Flames and a lot of other stuff, but it's a smart ban to get rid of the Invoker here, because the Sunstrike in the Chrono, and there goes the Leshrac to counter out that Phantom Lancer, so that burst damage as well has been taken out of the pool, so we're going to see what they want to pick here. Zeus is still available if they want to go for it, or maybe something really off-brand like a Skywrath Mage.
Yeah, for sure. Some possibilities are out there. As the Burnsiders themselves who ban the Ember Spirit, there's that Leshrac ban, as we've discussed. So Burnsiders banning Storm Spirit here, very short on reserve time themselves, as things have gotten kind of low on the clock for both teams.
I feel like they still need to save for this Chronosphere. This PL could run away with the game if he has a decent enough free farm in his lane. I mean, he's got the Magnus helping him out with the cleave, but the Magnus not really too great with the PL. It definitely helps, but he's pretty decent with the Underlord. Underlord should have a pretty relatively free lane. He's pretty good against Oracle overall. You just kind of smack him out of the way and give him the flames, and then Void just sits there and does absolutely nothing. So very strong laner, and Tiny's they're going to be there to help him out. So this could be a kill lane potentially on the bottom lane with this Tiny Lord combo. 4 seconds ticking down. It could be a randomize, and we're going to see a Zeus.
Yeah, okay. Not a super strong mid laner. You know, the Underlord relocate. You know, the taxi. The global could kind of come into play there, just a little bit of you pop that global, you really find where everybody is, and then you rotate out. But it does seem like the Burnsiders, you know, have some options here for mid. I feel like Death Prophet is strong here, but they are going to go with the Void Spirit, which is another kind of Aaron classic. You know, comes with the silence, comes with mobility, a good combo to like track down, you know, people that Venomancer has located. A little vulnerable, so the Oracle save is very helpful, as well as the, you know, Tusk Snowball. So kind of also just kind of ties into all the combo possibilities that are there. Burnsiders down 1-0 in this BO2, part of the round robin for RD2L Masters Season 1. I'm one of your 2 casters here tonight, eXtine, joined by Lucky. And thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, as we will be getting into the action shortly here.
The Void Spirit is especially good here because he's another hero that's like Faceless Void and like Tusk. He can dive that Zeus. You can find that Zeus in the backline, spamming all that damage, and you can just kill him. It's very easy to get on top of it. But they do have to fight through all of the other stuff that's in front of them, which is what I do like about the Zeus pick. You've got this tanky Underlord, what will be a tanky Tiny, and a tanky Magnus, and you've got loads of Phantom Lancer illusions running out. So Zeus is going to win the lane against Void. That's no doubt. He's just going to sit back and spam Q. But it's going to be difficult to get on top of the Zeus. But if they can find the Zeus, it's free reign for Burnsiders. They're just going to absolutely destroy them.
Yeah, Lucky B casting with eXtine for sure. Thanks again for joining us. Shout out to Citrus, being funny in the chat. We appreciate it. Good to have lively conversations going on. Retro the Robot also joining us. And we're getting underway here for Game 2 in just a second. Burnsiders will also be back later tonight. Scheduled just a little over an hour and a half. Instead of Lucky, it will be one of my other friends joining me from the United Kingdom, Kermit.
Actually, your boy has to do sleeping eventually because hospitals don't run.
What?
It's like, I'm gonna finish this cast because it's gonna be fucking good.
Yeah, good. No BO3 either, so you know that's always.
I'm not leaving until I see this game.
I feel like we've had the conversation before. Maybe it was with somebody else recently where I was like, you know that TF2 in Europe, when you have a BO2, you know when it's going to end. But then when you're having a BO3 and you're not sure when it's going to end because you could have that third game. And then especially in the world, especially when it's TF2 and Dota, it's sort of the same. You're like, it could be a 35-minute game and a 35-minute game, or it could be like a 45-minute game, a 70-minute game, and a 70-minute game, you know, which for those keeping track at home is 3 hours, you know, so kind of a wide range sometimes.
Casted granary golden cap for 2.5 hours. It ended up giving up because they didn't play anymore.
We had a goalie watch TF2 game for part of the main finals, the playoffs this season. Not quite in the finals, but part of the playoffs. And a 30-minute half, 2 mid-fights with the score 0-0. They had the round reset, and they had another mid-fight, and it still ended 0-0 at 30 minutes.
Get your medics to Uber stop on the point at that point, you know.
It's alright, you know. It's the challenge of a hype caster, you know. It's you got to make any situation hype, and it still was a hype game, but 0-0 at 30 minutes. Ouch.
Off the build here, Zeus going to be starting out with a null talisman off the bat. Basic Zeus stuff. We've got Boots first Tiny, which is one thing I was going to mention about the Rubik earlier. Like, I can't help but think he would have had an excellent start to the game if he started Boots and this Tiny. He's going to be an absolute nuisance. He's going to be running around, avalanching things, tossing things at level 1. It's going to be really annoying to play against in this lane for this Void. His Oracle is not going to see the light of day. He's going to be chucked into an Underlord and smacked about a bit.
For sure. Shout out to my friends from DreamHack. I was trying to remember what this phrase was that my friend, I threw him on the mic with me doing some Counter-Strike, and you know, first time caster, and I realized halfway through, and I didn't really get the chance to tell him until after, that basically every time I passed him the mic, he said for sure, you know. You know, and it was like, so I'd be like, oh yeah, a really good retake of B site there for sure. Well, also eXtine, blah blah blah. You know, just like big headshot for sure.
For sure, man, definitely, totally agree with you. Just these caster phrases that you spit out every now and again. Oh, okay. So it looks like they're going to be sending the void to the offlane. Smart. I like this. I like this a lot. He's going to be pressured a lot less, that's for certain, against a Magnus PL lane if he's got his Oracle within, where they can just purge off slows and all the rest of it. So, and his Oracle's going to have a super good time against the PL as well. So sending the Venom to the top lane. We might see a case of the good old musical lanes, but this Venom has a really good matchup versus this Underlord. I like this a lot coming out from side of Burnsiders.
For sure, right? That's why it's such a trouble to get into, but you know, I already agree with everything you say, Lucky, so you know, we don't really need to emphasize it.
Words out, man.
People talking about the Burniverse though in chat though, which is pretty hilarious. So I'm glad that the Burnside, you know, fan club starting to build some more burn lore as it is, right? Players drawing on the
You're
map though.
protagonist in the
Oh, it's a protagonist, yeah, for sure. That's probably KU, right? As a valid,
KU,
yeah, high
protagonist in the
school valedictorian, KU. You know. Is he joking? Is he serious? We're getting Deal With It drawn by the Tiny on the chat. At least I think that's Deal With It. I'm not sure what else they're drawing. Uh-oh. Quick, mute him. Oh, no. He's drawing things on the map. No, it's okay. He's turning into a goldfish, so that's nice of him. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, waiting on this last player here, who is, well, we're getting told 1 minute, so it's all good. Again, you know, this is the world of esports, though. Sometimes you just have delays.
The team that I've played on, all I've been playing is IO because no one in our tier bans it.
Ooh, excellent. I've been committing to my pause 1 through 5 Elder Titan ranked games. And I just queue pause 1 through 5 and I play Elder Titan, and you know, it's a simple life. It's gone well, but yeah, I mean, I think I've been getting W's in the ranked world. It definitely was close my last game, but we turned it around. The troll was frightening.
It's been one of my recent favorites.
Yeah, we'll see. We should have a new patch here around the corner next week. We're sort of hoping to get the AD2L playoffs wrapped up before then. Our insiders booked their place into the grand finals, but the lower bracket semis, the lower bracket finals have to happen. And one of those situations, though, kind of talking over with the boys, talking over with the admins, it's like, yeah, I guess we're more concerned about just getting it done before Christmas, you know, than like necessarily being jerks and like rushing the enemy team and having to play in unideal situations. So yeah,
they get the Venomous Scale on him. He's going to skew down to the low ground with Notorious on the chase. Does have that Orb of Venom slow, but they're not going to chase any further.
Yeah, you know, one of those situations though that just the Veno here gets so much damage and harass with that Gale. It's just really good value early game. And if you can burn through that regen, or also just get the enemy team to spend a little bit more money on regen, you know, that gives you a little bit of advantage as the game progresses.
Looks like they are going to be able to secure respective runes either side as the musical lanes are taking place. Magnus heading down to the bot lane. Mid lane standard, Vinny's heading up to the top lane to go and chill out. Aaron's actually left his bounty rune for his pos 4 so he can go and get the block going, which is a wise move considering that Zeus on the other side is going to be aiming to play as far back in the lane as humanly possible because it's a Zeus.
Yeah, they may be leaving that leaving that bounty from in the lane. Hopefully, see if that can survive to 5 minutes. So.
He can get this bottle. He has actually saved quite a lot of gold and not do too much of an early spend, so he's got 145 in the bank, so he doesn't need to get that many last hits actually to secure that bottle. Gabe.
Yeah, we'll see how this progresses. Yep. Notorious does find Zumska over on the side here. Does kind of body block him in the tree. And we'll put a ton of harass on him. I did call him Zoom.
Sunny is doing his dragon.
I did call him Zoomka, which is maybe easier than what I was calling him last time. But quick shout out to everybody who's celebrating a virtual Zoomika tonight. As the sun about to go down on the west coast here. Yeah, KU playing the.
Looks like Notorious is.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's in there deep. He's safe for a bit here. He's gonna get tossed up in the air, and well, the fairy fire, yeah, still running for it, and still has a couple more tangos, so we'll get out of there. Definitely managed to be pretty obnoxious on the Tiny.
Does have that starting 4 armor, so he has quite a lot of defense early on to deal with the issues that come up, and he actually gets the pull through as well, rotating back up to that tower for the tower regen, so he's actually going to get that pull through for Vinny to assist him there. Good efficiency.
Yeah, definitely. Vinny hitting him with that Venomous Gale again. He's got the poison sting as well to just add on to the movement slow. Huge wave, and we'll probably be able to hit level 3 off that as well.
Like stealing candy.
Which we'll see if he puts that second point in Gale. I believe that is how he likes to level the Venno in this position. He's saving the point right now.
Oh, in the mid lane we've got a scrap going on, and Aaron's actually going to win that little exchange, and he is actually managing to get his bottle before the 5-minute mark, like you mentioned before.
Yeah.
Very now.
And actually, love Sosa's career getting sniped there by creeps. I think it was this range creep in particular. Yeah, getting pinged out by the Tiny. Even he is kind of mystified by it. Aaron getting that bottle regen and then the bounty rune. You know, hopefully then we'll be able to control the 4-minute power rune as well, as Notorious also lurking nearby with that smoke. So they're certainly looking to get the kill here off that extra regen that they here have. The shards coming in will lock him in here, as well as that remnant. Just going to be able to blast through him quickly. Notorious taking some damage here as well. And the shockwave coming out here from Magnus, but not a problem. We'll have to continue to assert their dominance in the area if they want to hold on to that power rune. The Tiny has rotated in on the side here, but a good rotation for the Burnsiders early on here.
Yeah, that's what they needed last game. You know, they needed to get on top of this playmaker that is going to really carry through the mid game for them, and getting on top of the Zeus, getting rid of one of the mid game threats is a really good job. So it's good that Notorious has recognized that, and he's going on it. And like you mentioned before, I've got power runes coming up, so the Magnus is going to be camping that bottom one. The Observer one does go down from the Void, and looks like Magnus is going to be heading towards it. The Remnant through, and the rune spawns top anyway. And it is a double damage rune, so it could get picked up by anyone here, but would benefit the Void more. So I think Tiny's going to be more than happy to take that one away and head back towards top.
Yeah, especially with that bottle regen. Although I do believe the Tusk just TP'd into mid lane, and due to the game mechanics, was able to give him a bottle refill through that. Aaron farming nicely here though in mid. I mean, the Zeus is as well.
Yeah, Zeus is up to 2 null talismans now, and he's also managed to get his bottle as well on the courier. The aim of the game for Zeus is you get 2 null talismans, and then in 3 arc lightnings you can destroy. But top lane though, we've got them going on top of the Tiny, and he is getting Warriors punched down. Is touched by a bunch of poison, but it looks like he's only survived this.
Yeah, extremely.
Or is he?
Oh, one more tick.
Or?
One more tick. Oh, 2 health!
2 HP. Jeez.
Wow. Wow. So close.
Nice.
Burnsiders definitely dived for that, but then again, at the same time, you know, they were able to get out as well with that Tusk. I mean, he's been weak health. He's been lurking around, though.
So the last hits now as well. We got PL isn't suffering too much in this bot lane. He's kind of chilling out. Of course, the Zeus and the Underlord are just doing Zeus and Underlord things. They farm quickly. It's what they do. But in the mid lane, we've actually got Aaron going in on top of the Zeus. He actually whiffs that Remnant there, and is looking like he's getting really weak here. The ult comes out and a double kill. Picking up Notorious in that top lane as well, and nearly killing Vinny in the process.
Yeah, right. Could have maybe almost had a 3 kill there. I mean, definitely happy with the 2, of course. And it doesn't get the 6-minute rune immediately, but the Magnus has secured it. The ward is there, so you know Void knows to avoid it at all costs. Tiny also getting a ward on the high ground there.
He's going in again though. As soon as he respawns, he's already died on the Zeus. Good damage down,
Yeah,
gets the
it's
Astral
good
Step
play.
through, and he doesn't quite get it in time. The Arcane gets popped from Nana, and the South coming out from his support as well. He is going to live.
Oh, I didn't see where it happened. I guess under tower though. Notorious getting the kill on Zoomka. I don't know if he was diving for Vinny there. Oh, okay.
A week afterwards, but then he got South from Notorious after that. He just got kited around. That was kind of it.
So yeah, net worth is overall an advantage of low, but at the same time, Burnsider's just doing fine here.
So now we're going to be getting that bottle refill off of Zuka. Zuka, I can't say either. I'm done. Okay, the Tiny gets the bottle refill. Yeah, this is where it gets difficult now. He's got the level 4 arc lining, 2 points in the passive as well. Aaron looks like he wants to get aggressive here. He's going to spot him out moving up to that high ground, but immediately move around and back. Maybe just wanting to apply a little bit of pressure, keep him out the lane.
Yeah, he has the range chops, but is actually just going to get those bursted down by Nana. Jumping on top of him and then Astral Strapping out. But yeah, definitely not very well healed up. He does have a salve coming up on the top lane. Notorious and Vinny trying to get some damage done on Love Sosa. The root coming down again on Vinny. Now the God's Thunder, the God's Wrath. Getting a 2K. Almost 3 again, it seems like. Maybe as Kobe not that healthy. Aaron wasn't either.
Nearly a nice stack there from the time he used the avalanche onto the high ground, but doesn't quite get it in time. That stack is notoriously hard to do, especially when using a stun for it. But looks like Underlord again. Aaron's very keen to get on top of the Zeus, and he is doing maybe the right thing. The snowball coming in from the Tusk as well. Gonna throw out the tag team as well. And the dude get on top. Ziska is moving forward now towards that rune. Can't find it in time, so Aaron's going to be able to steal that one. Well, nice shots again from Notorious as they come off cooldown. And they're just going to beat him down into a pulp as the remnant comes out and they finish up that kill. It's a double kill for Aaron in the mid lane. It's just what he needed now. He's 3-1-0.
Yeah, definitely. Burnsiders need a little bit of momentum. You know, Notorious as well as Tusk, a hero that, you know, literally and figuratively loves to snowball. So yeah, him getting that other kill helps out quite a bit. You know, Vinny, you know, hasn't been active on the scoreboards, really just that one assist. But at the same time, he's been farming pretty solidly here. Looking to get that urn, just the recipe away from it. A fight breaking down over on the bottom lane here. Aaron getting jumped on. Doesn't have a ton of health left, but the Oracle heal their support. Now it is Oracle who maybe will get attacked, but oh, and then the skewer just barely misses. Great dodges. Has to watch out for his courier here as he's sort of dragging it to his own demise. Trying to heal himself, but oh yeah, there's that courier getting sniped.
On it as well. If he had that earlier, he may be able to survive a little bit longer and potentially TP out, depending on how that lightning bolt was used. Looks like Aaron's going in again there. Hasn't spotted under the ward. Surrounded by 3 players currently. Looks like he's going on top of Ice Demon, but Ice Demon, one tanky boy, despite being only level 4. This Tiny's going to be rotating as well. The Astral Shot there. Yep. Oh, the Avatos with Wrath to take him out. Beautiful.
Yeah, definitely that damage coming out quick here. Sosa getting hit by that Venomous Gale. All of the Venomancer's spells here. Notorious under attack here, but there's no way that the Underlord's going to survive that. That's a good pick off.
Yeah, I'd say so. I like this book coming out from the Overlord, though. He went directly for that Hooded Defiance. Had it around like 6 minutes. He just rushed it entirely. And had it available, so he's been really a massive nuisance in this top lane. Underlord not necessarily known for getting kills in the top lane, of course. Zisco finding Notorious there as we've got a fight kicking out mid lane, looks like.
Yeah, that is where they picked off Notorious. Ice Demon pushing forward on this. Magnus doesn't have level 6 yet, but is very close to it. Zeus here. Tiny's still lurking behind, so a 3-player pressure from low, and they are able to get the kill on Kobe as well. KU though jumping forward. Magnus on the side here. The tower is choosing to hit the range creep first, though. They're trying to get the kill on the Zeus here. The RP though comes out. He can't decide whether he wants to though skewer in any sort of direction. Now he skewers past the high ground. Unfortunately for him, the Void Spirit and the Venomancer will be able to chase him down, get that kill.
The burn side, especially KU with that Chronosphere, buying time for his team to TP into the mid lane. That was absolutely amazing gameplay. Good coordination of the entire team as well. Aaron picking up that Baron is going to be able to heal himself up. Zeus now picking up that Aether Lens is going to help him out as they try to find her as well. They have a weapon available. They're going to throw that in with the Astral Step. And the rest of the Avalanche, and eventually goes down.
He tried to toss the toss towards the Void Spirit, but since he the Astral stepped forward, the toss just went straight vertical. So Notorious, not able to hit the initial shard, but following that, a solid outplay from the Burnsiders. They're also going to be able to steal this stack here. Underlord is rotating just by himself towards mid lane. But Aaron clears that whole stack up. The 12-minute rune going to the Zeus. A regen. Oh.
Did you see what just happened to Aaron?
Yeah, I did. I actually was watching Aaron instead of KU. So, I mean, the Thunder God's Wraths have been absolutely gorgeous this game for the Zeus. We'll see if that can continue as the game goes on. Right now, queued up a Boots of Travel. I'm sure he has something else on the Courier too, or maybe he's just... Oh, no.
This
Courier's going to Secret Stop, so he's actually going to buy the Acceptor first. I would think.
this, ladies and gentlemen, is what Fate's edict before we do anything else. We've got a fight kicking off in the mid-name next time.
Yeah, and Tiny getting blown up pretty good here from Oracle, helping out here. Void Spirit bouncing around. He's really trying to kill off this Zeus. Would be nice. Oracle also tries to blast him. Doesn't quite get that done in one shot. But the Void Spirit following up. Gets that kill on Zeus. Oracle has gone down, but Void Spirit pretty happy with that, being able to delay. Tiny big heals on Aaron as that Fortune's End finishes. KU showing up to the scene here, and Magnus in trouble with that Remnant, with that Vinny Sal Venomancer. And Burnsider's pulling some kills back here, turning out nice.
Yeah, well done from Aaron there. Surviving all that stuff that was chucked in his direction, is going to be going for that Desolator, being propelled towards it now with the damage that he found. Also taking the 15 damage talent, I like this a lot. The 2.5 mana regen talent is honestly just not worth it, but already got the Diffusal Blade on the PL here, just going to be running this off with no ultimate evade. Take him out immediately. This PL has just come out of nowhere, out of the left field. Snowball on top of him. They're going to pop that Poison Nova on top of him as well, just to get a bit of damage down, but they still don't know which one is the real one. As they're heading up onto the high ground, Underlord is here now to help out, but eventually he goes down. A bit of a YOLO play there. Tiny nice avalanche.
Oh, the Toss Sword! The first Lightning can't get it done, but Thunder God's Wrath killing Aaron again. Oh, they get the deny on Zumika. And then the Underlord actually going to stop that. Ultimate out. We'll be able to help the Zeus, but KU has TP'd away. So Burnsider is fairly safe there again. Again, you know, getting punished by that Thunder God's Wrath.
Underlord has just finished his pipe, so it's going to get more and more hard now for them to execute someone using the Poison's Veil or any burst damage coming out from this Void Spirit, especially when a Chrono goes down. So K's going to spawn him out and gets that root down on top of him. He's just going to mess around with him to pick up this bounty rune. Easy pickings for this Underlord.
Yeah, for sure. So trying to get some control on Void Spirit. Right now, yeah, smoke mid lane. And they're going to see the Courier moving forward. Notorious, though, does get that smoke break, and they're just going to be able to blow up the Tiny. The blast from the Oracle locking him in place here. The jump forward here. The RP does grab two, but the snowball save will stop a little bit of that control here at the same time. Notorious in trouble. KU bouncing away. Vinny has gone down. Fortune's End on KU. Although now it's turning into a fatal situation. Phantom Lancer gets that finish.
What an RP! Just holding them inside of that, inside of the firestorm. They just ate so much damage inside of that, and there was nothing they could do about it to move either. The snowball save was good though. He should have held on to it a little bit longer, but just opting to pop that one out. I mean, what can I say? It's just good positioning there. Good awareness from the Magnus. Just picked that one up. Unfortunately, they were unable to use a lot of their ultimates. Oracle was the only one that was really used, as well as the Walrus Punch, but the Walrus Punch doesn't really count. In this top lane, looks like we're going to have a bit of skirmish again.
Oh, again.
Getting picked off one more time. I mean, this Void is so susceptible to this magic damage that he should have potentially just gone for, like, you know, a casual hood at this point.
Right. And Zucca getting attacked here by both the Tusk and Faceless Void here. Tusk going to end up getting closed on by Magnus, though. who's skewering and trying to TP away here. Vinny's not going to be able to have the damage burst to be able to get a kill on him. And this is looking kind of rough for the Burnsiders.
Drop down a ward on the high ground, and I think it was, in fact, scouted out by the Zeus. They know it's there. Now they're just going to be farming up their jungle now. They're really bringing the pressure down. They're farming their side of the map now. So the PL has been farming the dire triangle, and he is also sentryed off a bunch of areas here to just see the vision. So they have no vision in that area anymore, and they're going to be trying to steal from this jungle as well. Starting to choke Burnsiders out of this game, taking away all of the lanes as well, up by a 13k advantage. And this PL has become a bit of a monster and something that's going to be difficult to deal with for some of the Burnsiders. The blink initiation onto this Oracle, he just gets absolutely deleted. Aaron going in as well, but it looks like he's just going to retreat back. This PL has now joined the fray, and Notorious is just going to get pinged down here. This Diffusal Blade doing too much work. The damage being pumped out by the Zeus as well, just dropping the lightning bolt on Aaron means that he's unable to commit to any fights whatsoever.
Yeah, right now getting pushed back. Their mid tower tier 2 under attack, and kind of in a similar difficult situation as they were in game 1, where just kind of, you know, hard to find fights that look appetizing for them, I guess. So they just kind of keep getting rolled back. And KU in some trouble. Does have Time Walk. Will find Zook on the side here. Fortune End and some heals coming through for him. Notorious is jumping forward to engage here. KU does have a Chronosphere. Oh my god! 3 people with 1 toss! Brutal stuff there. There goes League of Legends, aka Kobe as well.
Wow, what a toss combo. That was absolutely nuts. Also threw the tree in there as well for that additional damage, bringing the full potential of that combo to life. So, well played there. That is just nail in the coffin kind of stuff now. Like, I once again, I'm seeing another situation where they've got this unstoppable hero. Now it's the PL. The Zeus is also still.
Yeah.
They haven't got a pipe. They're trying to desperately build a hood on this Veno, but I feel like that this this Spirit Vessel build that he's gone for, the Spirit Vessel was kind of unnecessary, and the pipe was more valuable since the Zeus is the player that's at large most.
Yeah, true. Definitely been a tricky game for him and the other Burnsiders. That Zeus's timing with the Thunder God's Wrath has been impeccable. And now Notorious getting jumped on by this Tiny who's got 4 levels above him. The Shard's coming out here. Oh! Beautifully, at least attempting to block himself off after that roll forward. But also just getting bursted down.
This from Vinny, by the way. He's playing in the enemy side of the map in the triangle. Just going to be sticking some plague walls on the high ground. Going to be farming up those ancients on the enemy side of the map, just making the most of a bad situation. And also we are seeing a 2-man smoke. The Zeus and the Tiny going to be heading forward. Zeus actually with that haste rune heading in towards the enemy triangle. This is spotted Aaron out underneath the wall. They pop the Thunder God's Wrath and they go directly on top of him with the Ava combo and they take him out.
Yeah, a pretty high score line for kills right now, 29-14. You know, that seems like a reasonable Dota score line until you realize you're only 21 minutes in. Vinny now in some serious problems as he's got to turn around. He will pop the Gale. The RP just being teased out here by Ice Demon. So much control, though. He goes down for 303 gold. Peel alone in the triangle, but, you know, what can the Burnsiders really do against it?
They need KU to be in this game and fast, but he hasn't even built a Maelstrom yet. He's opted for this Mask of Madness on the Void. It's more common on Mask on Void than it was on PA in the last game, but I feel like he hasn't got much damage to really support him as he's clicking. So definitely build this Maelstrom and potentially also save for buyback. His buyback isn't really worth a lot, and neither is the Javelin. But there you go. He's going to finish it up now. That's going to add a little bit of extra damage, but I get the feeling it's a tall ask considering that the PL has finished his Manta and a Basher and have a hook.
Yeah, the Basher, a nice improvement there for sure. Really going to just add to lethality of all of his clones, his illusions. And Burnsiders are basically going to have to give up this tier 2 up top as well. Will be their last outer tower. Aaron getting a Desolator, which, you know, does help the damage output of the team. But at the same time, it just doesn't really kind of feel like enough. Notorious on the Tusk has a Blink Dagger queued up, which will certainly help with his ability to save teammates, you know, just positions shards and the snowball correctly. But we do have the Aegis picked up here from PL, able to just TP down to bottom lane, just finds Notorious and chunks through him. I think Notorious wasn't expecting him, was sort of looking at the other side of the map as basically Void Spirit going down in mid lane. They get Notorious as well. Burnsider's definitely in a pretty big hole here, and it just got a little bit deeper.
Yeah, that PL finding the kill on the bot lane onto the Tusk as well, just going to add to the masses of gold that this man has got under his belt currently. So going to be rough here for the high ground defense, but their high ground defense isn't the worst. They've placed a bunch of play wards down, so they can repel them for a little bit of time, and they've got a few Oracle spells they can spam down as well, like Fate's Edict just to send the disarm out, and the Q and the E obviously have a decent range as well. But it looks like they are able to just wander up this high ground pipe and just chunk down this tower with the Tiny.
Yeah, PL sort of just doesn't care about the wards, and there's just so many of them that you have to deal with that, again, the wards just start shooting away at the illusions of the PL. They have too many targets to go after. They can't really make anything happen or get done. Their wave clear isn't enough, and the first lane of barracks is going to go down. All 5 players are up from the Burnsiders. They might look to engage here, but at the same time, as low just rotate towards bottom lane, it's hard for the Burnsiders to really kind of stick their necks out here. Then he's just going for that Gale, which would have brought some wards in as it connected. KU getting rooted over on the side and stunned and then burst down. He's in trouble and dead. He does have buyback. Fortune's End coming out on Tusk here, but he's in some serious trouble. Just trying to roll his way forward and maybe survive, but he's going to pop eventually. He has buyback, might just sit on it, but tower has gone down. No, he will pop it out here. Vinny going down right outside a fountain here. They're trying to jump on top of this PL. He still has Aegis, however, and is doing a lot of work. Going to be able to, well, Notorious goes down on the high ground, unfortunately. That is a dieback. KU going down at the same time as well. Will be called out from GG's from the Burnsiders. As always, Beast Dota showing up in the chat. Feels bad, man. Unfortunate stuff for the Burnsiders. Not going to be able to take either game in our series up against Me Lo Diho Un Lo. But well played to them.
I feel like the Low had a better game plan throughout the games. They understood their timings a lot better than Burnsiders did. Burnsiders would do like one thing, and they'd forget that that is their game plan as well, and they'd go off and just not really do as much as Low were doing and making less moves. There were less smokes out and all the rest of it, but I feel like the Notorious on the Tusk really did drive a lot of that forward momentum, but the Venomancer never really came to fruition. Didn't build that pipe, went for the Vessel instead against a team that is not doing any healing, which is questionable. But other than that, it was once again they just kind of got outplayed here. I feel like the draft was fine, but it's just the rate which they were getting outplayed. Low played really well in this series, I think.
Yeah, definitely. We scrimmed these guys against before. We enjoyed playing against them. So it's cool to see him do well in the RD2L Masters. Going to be a long round robin season, so we'll see how it continues to go. We're basically chunking through a bunch of matches. We have another match coming up at 9 p.m. Eastern. I hope you guys join us. Probably will just cut off the stream as Lucky's going to bounce out, and Lucky's going to bounce out, and we will then be returning with Kermit. So looking forward to that, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, and Lucky, though, before we go, any final words from you?
Shout outs to Burnsiders and eXtine.
Hey, thanks, man.
I love the Burnsiders. They're great fun.
Awesome. I appreciate it. I want to give a shout out to my friend Citrus, as well as my friend Retro the Robot, who's watching. Actually, KU is more correct than me that match actually happening at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So still a 40-minute break. So pretty long, and we will be back with Kermit. But yeah, once again, shout out to my friend Citrus. Shout out to Retro the Robot. Shout out to the Burnsiders sponsors as well. I actually just got a marketing email from our beer sponsor, Stormbreaker Brewing, and they're like, "We got some new beers," and let me pull that up. It was like a chocolate churro stout or something. I was like, "What the heck?" I might have to order that. That sounds really good. So yeah, check them out, stormbreakerbrewing.com. Yeah, chili chocolate churro. I was like, "Oh my, that sounds good." So I mean, I shouldn't be ordering beer right now, but I want to order some beer right now. Yeah, so I don't know. You, ladies and gentlemen, you guys can check it out as well. They are delivering in Oregon, delivering in other places. I'm going to drop one link. I think that I dropped a link for their out of state. Actually, whoops, let me just drop this other link. That's the better one. When I looked at it right before I was going live and I clicked the chili chocolate churro, it wasn't working yet because they're just trying to launch that. So yeah, anyways, big ups to them, big ups to Antlion Audio, big ups to Red Bull, big ups to Yao Sauce, big ups to you guys for joining us here tonight. We will be back in about 40 minutes though, ladies and gentlemen. I'm eXtine. See you guys next time. Peace out.